Ralph breaks the internet. Like, Ralph breaks my heart. What up, everybody? Welcome to Trailer Park, the movie review show that focuses on the trailers of the movies. I'm your host, Richard Barlow. As you notice, this is a little different than normal. My basement is turned upside down right now, so we're just doing a close-up shot here because if you saw any of this, you would judge me. I don't want that. I mean, you judge me enough already. I judge movies. There doesn't need to be any more judgment here. Anyway, let's talk about the Wreck-It Ralph 2 movie. It came out last week. I saw it. I'm a little late on this review, but let's do it anyway.
You ever wonder if there's more to life than this?
So I'm going to start by saying that this movie isn't as good as the first one. Sequels seldom are, but that doesn't mean that this was a bad movie by any means. It's still a really good movie, one that you should see. It just, the first one was great. This one's also really good, but just doesn't quite get up to the level that the first one did. Now, the thing I was most worried about in the trailer was that this was just going to be a movie full of internet jokes and references and some Disney jokes and references in there as well, and there didn't really seem to be much of a story. That isn't the case with the movie. There's actually only a small part of the movie that is filled with the jokes and references, so it kind of works. They just kind of do a montage of the jokes, and then they get to the story again. It's still a very good story, so that fear that was in the trailer didn't come to pass. It wasn't a problem at all.
Get rid of belly fat using this one weird trick.
Ooh, housewives want to meet you.
They do.
I said I was worried that there didn't seem to be a villain and no villain was introduced. And I don't want to give away spoilers or anything, but that's not a problem. It works out fine. The story is great. There is a major problem there. I'm not going to reveal any villains or what the problem is, but it works out great. There's no part of the story where it's like this is lacking any kind of conflict like how I said it looked in the trailer. It's not at all. There's major conflict and a really strong story throughout the film.
It is new, it is different, and therefore we should fear it.
I'm freaking out hard.
The one thing that's great about this movie, and it's that way with most Disney movies and Pixar movies, and it's the reason why it works so well for children and the adults love it as well, is the bigger themes of the movie. Like, yes, it's a kid's movie, but the themes of it is something that anyone can relate to. The theme of this movie is, in the first movie, Ralph and Vanellope, they became best friends, and now in this one, it's like, what happens when you start to grow up and your friendship kind of starts to part ways? And that's a really hard thing to do. You're always with each other, and all of a sudden, you're not going to be anymore. And so that's a thing that I think is really important for kids to see, as they start growing up, going to different schools and stuff like that. So the kids are really going to relate. But I mean, that never stops. I'm almost 30, and I'm going through that right now with my friends, so it really hit hard as well. When you grow up, lives change, and you move on in different places. So, like, those people that you're used to every day, all of a sudden aren't going to be there every day, and you have to figure out how to make that work. And that is the theme of this movie, or, like, the overall, like, emotional problem of this movie is the growing apart part. And they do it really well so that anyone can relate. And again, that's why these movies always work so well. Why you'll see parents and adults in this kids movie enjoying it just as much because the themes are just as relevant to them as they are to kids.
Isn't that an astute observation?
There are aspects of this movie where they teach kids important lessons about the internet. There's also a few problems where they don't teach kids important lessons about the internet. There's some stuff where Ralph's reading the comments, which you never do. Never read the comments. But always comment on videos and like and share. Ralph starts to learn, there's a lot of negative stuff on the internet, but there's also a lot of positive stuff, which is important to teach kids, to not take the negative stuff that they're going to find on the internet too seriously because, people are going to be jerks on the internet all the time. And to take the positive stuff away from it. But then there's also stuff where, like, he tries to make money by doing viral videos and stuff like that, and he makes a lot of money, and I don't think that is great for kids to think that, like, if they need money, just make a viral video, because that is an irresponsible lesson. and not a great way to make money. It can make you money, but, you know, doing videos on the internet doesn't always pay off.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
But the performances in the movie are all really good. I mean, we knew John C. Reilly and Sarah Silverman were going to be great. They were great in the first one. Doing these characters again, I knew it was going to be good. And all the other performances in it work really well as well. And the tie-in to the other Disney princesses, there's a nice song in this movie that's not a musical movie at all, but there is a song in it that's really fun. And then they really have fun with the Disney princess thing that's going on. Again, I don't want to go too much into it and give too much spoilers. I think I've already said too much with the money-making thing.
A racing game?
Showtime.
I don't have much time today, so I think I'll wrap it up here. And just to sum it up, problems in the trailers weren't really problems at all. It's not as good as the first one, but it's still a very good movie. So I think I'm going to give this movie an A-, and it's definitely worth seeing. I think you could afford to wait until it comes out on Disney's streaming service. I was going to say Netflix. It won't be there. It'll be on Disney's streaming service. But it's definitely, to see it in theaters, you're definitely not wasting your money at all. So if you like these kind of movies, definitely go see it. If it's just something that you wouldn't mind checking out, then yeah, you could wait until it comes out.
What?
And that's all for today. Did you see the movie? Did you like it? Did you think it was better than the first one? Or not quite as good? Did you cry? Because I know I sure did. And did you relate to the themes that they were laying out? Let me know in the comments. Of course, let me know what trailers you'd like to see me review. And as always, if you like this video, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and the little bell beside it. Check me out on social media, on Twitter and on Facebook. And if it hasn't been obvious by now, I think I'm going down to 1 video a week. And I'll figure that. I'm still figuring out this new schedule of mine. So I'll see you when I see you, everybody.